What's up, everyone? Got another video for you, this time in the Sunshine Cup, and it is featuring Rufflet, XL Rufflet. This is a level 50 Rufflet, a little bit of a spicy pick. Spicy just because it's rare, not because it's like not meta. It's definitely a top flyer in this cup, but it's just expensive to build, and I didn't see, I don't think, a single other Rufflet in all of my sets, but showcasing two sets here of me being able to hit expert. So I was able to climb a good amount from somewhere in the 2600s up to past 2750. And so this was a great team. Loved using this team. Plan on continuing to use it if I continue in the Sunshine Cup. It's a very interesting cup. It feels very repetitive because you're going to see some of the same Pokemon over and over. Vigoroth, Gligar, Steelix on almost every team. We're using Vigoroth and Shadow Steelix on this team. But what's neat about it is it's not necessarily an RPS cup. It is more about getting some kind of advantage, a shield or energy advantage against the opponent, and being able to kind of overpower your opponent and take the victory in that way. So in this battle here, you can see I safe swapped my Steelix into their Steelix, and they stayed in for a little while, debuffed me, and then they tried to catch an Earthquake on their Tropius, but I was anticipating a catch, and so I went for a Breaking Swipe instead, and I was able to debuff them, and I'm able to bank a Breaking Swipe on my Steelix and swap into my Rufflet here, taking resisted Razor Leafs and Leaf Blades and being able to get a ton of energy here. So I don't need to shield a Breaking Swipe from their Steelix, and I can just go for double Brave Birds here. And, Rufflet into Steelix, very bad matchup, but look how much these resisted, debuffed Brave Birds are doing. I knocked the thing out with two Brave Birds. So now at this point, I'm able to utilize the Breaking Swipe that I had banked to debuff this Victory Bell and grab a shield, to where now I'm at the point where a Body Slam would KO. And with only one shield, I was able to take that one. So very interesting cup. Rufflet is a flying type, but it's also a normal type, so it's going to take neutral damage from counters. What's really awesome about Rufflet, though, is that you're going to win CMP versus basically everything in the entire cup. So you win CMP versus other flyers like Pidgeot, Noctowl, Tropius. You win CMP versus Vigoroth, versus Steelix, versus Donphan. Pretty much every single thing in the entire cup, Rufflet wins CMP, and you can use that to your advantage to time your moves well if you know your move counts. And be able to either, force a shield, force your opponent to shield, or ensure that your move goes off first. Either way, definitely very helpful. Just knowing Rufflet has a very high attack stat and wins CMP versus everything. So you can bring it into a situation like this, and I know I can get my Aerial Ace off first. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, I think they have a flyer in the back. I think they have a Gligar in the back, and so I'm able to get a little bit of energy here. I no shield their Body Slam, but it's not going to be enough to be able to take out the Gligar with them still having a shield here. So one Body Slam's not going to KO. So yeah, we lose that one. But I think we're 2-1 now in the set. Terrible matchup. Rufflet against Steelix. By the way, if you hear my kids or dogs in the background, it's Saturday morning here. This is the only time I can make a video, so it is what it is. So I swap in my Steelix into theirs, and they stay in and go for an Earthquake, and so I'm able to shield that. I go for a Breaking Swipe and get a shield, so I'm in an actual good spot here, even though it was a terrible lead, and can double debuff the Trevenant before it can get a move off. They're going to have to throw all their energy here if they want to win the matchup versus the Steelix, but they're actually running Foul Play instead of Shadow Ball, which was interesting. I think the purpose of that is to be able to have something to hit back against the normal flying types like Noctowl, Pidgeot, and Rufflet, so you're not just totally RPS'd by that. But works out well for me because now I can get my Vigoroth aligned on their Steelix. No need to shield the Breaking Swipes. I can just go for a Bulldoze, or even go for a double Body Slam here. Body Slams are resisted, but they're going to do enough chip damage to where I can knock this thing out. um, or get it close enough. That was actually cutting a little too close. I probably should have thrown the body slam instead of going for the counter down there. But either way, I can shield. I can take one aerial ace, save a shield for the next aerial ace, and I can make it to 2 moves. So aerial ace plus Brave Bird is going to kill. Maybe even just 2 aerial aces would kill. But I get the shield with the first attack. I'm able to land the Brave Bird for the victory. So that was a match where we lost lead. Very bad lead loss, but ended up winning the game with a shield to spare. So again, just goes to show that this cup isn't completely like RPS matchups. It's really more about how you can count moves. So like this, being able to catch a Brave Bird or a Feather Dance on Steelix and bank a ton of energy on my Rufflet and debuff this Vigoroth. It sets me up in a really good position to have a shield and energy advantage. And so, yeah, I think this cup is way more about how you manage your energy and how you kind of force your opponent to make inconvenient decisions about their moves. So they're having to throw all their energy here, and I can take a lot of it because it's been debuffed by Steelix, and save my shields for my Rufflet, which has a ton of energy banked up from the beginning of the match. So I can throw 2 body slams here, either knock the Pidgeot out or force a shield. They choose to let it go, and then it's a Blaziken in the back though, and so with 2 shields, there's no purpose in me like throwing any charge moves, and I actually end up having to just fast move the thing down, and we get a tie. So my first set here with the team was a 3-1-1. Gained me, I don't know, maybe 30 elo or something like that. And so put me pretty close to expert, but I'm going to need another positive set. And so in the second set here, I believe I got a 4-1. And this is the one that takes me over 2750 into expert. So for Gligar leads, I stay in. I build up to a Brave Bird, and sometimes I throw Brave Bird, sometimes I bait with Aerial Ace and just kind of see how they play it. But for this situation, I think it's worth a shield, and I can farm it down and then align my Pokemon to whatever they have in the back, or go for another catch. So I catch a Body Slam on my Steelix here. They're going to have to do, I think it's 4 double kicks to a payback. They go for a 5th one, maybe it's 5. But they've got to build up to payback. There are some doubles that are running Wild Charge for the flyer coverage, but yeah, this one gets to a payback and then do a body slam. And I think the body slam's enough to knock me out, yeah. But now I'm able to, I was going to be able to counter the thing down before it could get off another move, but they chose to switch into their own Vigoroth. But I had, 3 or 4 counter advantage. But I make a mistake here that lost me the game. I swap to Rufflet and I throw an Aerial Ace right away, but I could have gone for the Brave Bird. I would have been able to reach the Brave Bird at the same time as their Body Slam and win CMP, and I could have won the game. But I just went for an Aerial Ace, and because of that, I lost the game. So, unfortunate. But into this next battle here, we had a terrible lead, Rufflet into Steelix. We switch to our own Steelix and get answered with a Vigoroth. And here's what's kind of interesting, though. If you want to try to flip it around, you can. If you shield the Bulldoze, you can farm them down before they make it to another Bulldoze and actually flip the game around. And so now they bring in their Steelix, and I get to debuff it and then align it with my Vigoroth. And they've got a Pidgeot in the back, and so what I want to do is put a little bit of chip damage on this by throwing a Body Slam or get a shield. And so I got the shield, so what I can do now is I know I can live a Brave Bird. They actually throw an Aerial Ace, though, and so I'm going to throw my own Brave Bird, knock the thing out, and then I can actually get an Aerial Ace off before I go back into Vigoroth. But with a shield, I can easily win this matchup now. So I can shield a Breaking Swipe and just go for Body Slam and a couple of counters and be able to knock it out before it gets to anything that can knock me out. So GG to the opponent there. Let's see what the next match is. We got Rufflet against Gligar. So Gligar, again, decent lead. I usually build up to a Brave Bird before I throw a move. So I can take one Aerial Ace. Sometimes they switch out, but if they don't switch out, then I'll do 4 more wing attacks and then throw a Brave Bird right before they get to their next Aerial Ace. So I swapped to Steelix there, trying to actually catch an Aerial Ace if they threw it right away. But they banked the energy and brought in their Vigoroth. It's okay. Again, I can actually shield a Bulldoze and throw another Breaking Swipe and flip this around. So Steelix into Vigoroth is actually not too bad. Shadow Steelix into Vigoroth, that is. And now they're able to get to a Dig before I get to my Breaking Swipe. But since Dig costs 50 energy, and I'm resisting the wing attacks and able to debuff them and do a good amount of damage from Dragon Tails, I decide to shield and stay in. So they catch it on an Abomasnow, which is fine because shield's down. I can just farm. I should have just farmed this thing all the way down. I kind of made a mistake here throwing on CMP, and so I just go for a nice. I undercharge it to get a couple more counters. And now one counter gets me to a Body Slam, where if this attack doesn't knock me out, the Body Slam would. But yeah, they did knock me out, and I can just swap to Rufflet and Aerial Ace for the win. So I had a couple of different options or win conditions there. Made a mistake, but still able to win the game. Another Gligar lead. You're going to see that Pokemon on every team. It's very common. You can make it to an Aerial Ace here before they get to a Body Slam, and then I went for a catch. So usually what I'll try to do is catch a Body Slam on the Steelix for the resisted damage. And then I wasn't sure if I had like missed a move. It was interesting to me that they threw a move there. I didn't think they were out of payback. And so I actually shielded just in case, but now I'm like, there's no way they made it to another payback. So I let that one go. And I'm thinking they were running Body Slam Wild Charge, and that's why they didn't even attempt to go for the paybacks there. Just trying to get some kind of chip damage with Body Slam. So once again, when Steelix comes back into Gligar, I think it's worth the shields to do the Dragon Tail Breaking Swipe damage and get the debuffs. And now they're down to 1 shield, and I can bring my Rufflet back into this. Actually, I went to Vigoroth anticipating a switch, and I can just keep the Rufflet for when Gligar comes back in the end. So I go for a bait of Body Slam here. They might let it go. They might anticipate. Yeah, they let it go, but it's okay. We can live another Breaking Swipe, and I can go for either 2 more Body Slams or go for a switch here and save all that energy for Vigoroth, knowing that an Aerial Ace will actually KO from here. So resisted Aerial Ace, debuffed, still going to be able to just about knock out, actually. And then I can get another Aerial Ace on Gligar. Got 2 Body Slams banked with Vigoroth, so yeah, cutting it kind of close there, but also just showing how nice it is to be able to manage energy well and keep charge moves banked, and how much play that'll give you even in like unfavorable matchups. So with Vigoroth, I play this kind of similar to Gligar. Is I just stay in for a little while, build up to a Brave Bird, see if they switch out or not. It looks like they were trying to catch a move on their Steelix, and then experienced a little bit of lag, so we were able to get a couple of counters in there before, yeah, I don't know if they stopped tapping or if their game was lagging or what, but either way, this is, we were in a good position. They did not successfully catch the move, and we could bring our counter user against the Steelix. So if Vigoroth comes back in, we got Body Slams to throw at it. Instead, it's a Pidgeot, and so at this point, this game is ours. I can throw Body Slams at Pidgeot and then align my Steelix to it, and there's not a whole lot that Pidgeot can do against Steelix. A Brave Bird still does, a good amount of damage. Does similar to what it'll do from Rufflet. But I can take it and no need to shield, debuff the Vigoroth, and then swap back into my Rufflet, which had a ton of energy stored. So I can go for Aerial Ace, double Aerial Aces here, and be able to knock them out, and then probably even No, I don't quite make it to an aerial ace here, but my Dragon Tail goes through. I can shield a Brave Bird, and then we win this matchup as well. So I think that was the final match of the set. 4-1, bringing us over the edge into expert. So let's see where we ended up. 27-59. So all in all, very fun team. Rufflet, super good in this meta. It's going to, I think, give an advantage over Pidgeot, over Noctowl. Just the fact that it has a really great stat product, really high attack stat, wins CMP, has access to Brave Bird, just has a ton of play, and haven't seen really anyone else using it yet. And so if y'all have one, if you have the resources to build one, I highly recommend it. Got me to expert. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And yeah, y'all stay blessed. See y'all later.